Hello friends! Welcome to Daily Sourdough. Today I have a really fun snack for you, sourdough Cheez It crackers. Because I really like Cheez It crackers, the store-bought kind. They're so buttery and cheesy, but actually I have no idea what's actually in them because I can't read the ingredients, I can't pronounce them. So I decided to make my own Cheez It crackers using sourdough discard. That way it's easier on my tummy and I can eat as many as I want. So let's get started. First, take 1 cup of your sourdough starter, put it into a glass or ceramic bowl, then add ½ cup of water, and then stir that till it's dissolved, and add a ¼ cup of melted butter to that. And that will help it all dissolve together because the butter is a little bit warm. So that will help the starter dissolve. Once you have that mixed in really thoroughly, add 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then mix that until it's completely mixed, but you don't have to over mix it. You're not trying to develop any gluten here. You are just mixing the ingredients together. And once that's mostly mixed in, add 8 ounces of shredded cheese, and cheddar cheese unless you want to use something else. But that's this entire package. And I'm just going to use pre-shredded cheese today, but actually grating your own is better because it melts better if it's not pre-grated, because they add something to the grated cheese to keep it from sticking together, and that keeps it from melting quite as well. But today I'm just going to use it straight out of the package. Then I'm going to use my hand to mix that up really thoroughly, get all that cheese mixed in there. So just keep mixing it with your hand until all that cheese is mixed in. Kind of give it some love squeezes. Make sure that cheese gets clear to the center of your dough. Just keep love squeezing it until it's all mixed in. And it's going to be kind of dry, a dry dough, because you know you want crispy crackers. So if it seems kind of dry, that's okay. Once you have your cheese mixed in thoroughly, then cover it and let it sit on your counter overnight or for at least 12 to 16 hours. And we'll finish it tomorrow. Welcome back! It's day 2 and we're ready to roll out our crackers. The dough has risen really nicely, so I think it's gonna be good. Take your dough out of your bowl and split it in half. Then pat each half into a little rectangle and slip it between some parchment paper. So put half of it on top of the parchment paper and then put the other half over it. And now we're going to roll this out as thin as we can. And it's best if you can keep it into a rectangle shape, because then it will make square crackers instead of having some odd shaped crackers. But just do your best, and I'll do mine. Just roll it out. You want it to be about 1/8 of an inch thick, so that's pretty thin. And already I've got it odd shaped, so I'm gonna fix that before I go any further. I'm just gonna cut that piece off put it over here so I have a better shape for my crackers. You roll that out. Just keep rolling it until it's quite thin. Even thinner than that. And you're going to leave it on the parchment paper so you don't have to worry about moving it. So just keep rolling it quite thin until it's about an eighth of an inch thick. Okay, and as you can see, some of mine jumped off the parchment paper. So I'm going to cut that part off and just add it to my dough that's sitting here on the counter. And the parchment paper is trying to bunch up and cause me trouble. So we'll straighten that out. Then move it to a cookie sheet and just pick up your parchment paper as best you can and put it right on your cookie sheet. And now it's time to cut your crackers. And I was digging through my baking drawer and I found this really fun gadget. I've never used it before. I'm sure I bought it to make lattice pie crust with, but I've never done that. So I think I'll try it today with my crackers because it has a fun fluted edge just like a lot of crackers do. However, usually I just use this because it makes a nice clean edge. So you can use anything you want to cut it. I even have this guy, but it makes kind of a wider cut. So anyway, whatever you can find. This is also fun because it has two blades on it. So it's going to kind of make small crackers, but I thought I'd give it a try. Well, that wasn't really as fun as I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to go back to my pizza cutter. And obviously you can make these crackers as big or small as you want. You get to decide how to cut them. Some of these are going to be odd shaped. Now that your crackers are cut, take a fork and prick each cracker twice because that will keep it from rising and bubbling up too much in the oven and creating a little air pocket in your cracker. So it's a little time consuming, but prick each cracker twice. This is a really fun recipe that kids enjoy making. It doesn't have to rise, it doesn't have to do anything in particular, and it tastes yummy. So it's fun for kids to make these crackers, and a good project for mom and kids in the kitchen. I had a friend years ago whose child was really intolerant to gluten, and I think she ended up having celiac disease, but she could never eat processed foods. In fact, she had seizures sometimes, so she could never eat processed food, and her mom was always searching for something that this child could eat that resembled what other children were eating. And so we came up with Cheese It crackers, sourdough Cheese It crackers. Now do the same thing to the second half of your dough. Roll it out an eighth of an inch thick, cut it and prick it, then cook them in the oven at 350 degrees for 25 minutes. And just kind of peek at your crackers towards the end there to make sure they're not burning. But you want them crispy still. After 30 minutes, turn your oven off and just crack the door of your oven. If your oven won't stay cracked open, then put something in there to keep it open, just a crack, and let the crackers cool down in the oven. And when they're completely cool, then take them out and break them apart and enjoy, because they really do taste like Cheez Its. They're so yummy. And if you want a more sophisticated flavor, you can change up the cheeses. You can do a Parmesan cheese. You can do a cheese with jalapeno peppers in it. Whatever type of cheese you want, it will end up delicious. So give this recipe a try. It's really yummy, fun to make, so easy. And if you try it and like it, give it a thumbs up. And stay tuned to more recipes on Daily Sourdough.